Okay, now
All right.
you are in Reykjavik in
Well,
1972.
that was an important open in that time, one of the most important, in the world. Even now, is very strong tournament. And finally, I could win this together with Hortenstein, very, very strong open. And the game is very interesting because I played the Volga attack, the Volga Gambit or the Benko Gambit. Well, the name was Benko Gambit, but then
Mhm.
the Russians came and they said, okay, it's ours. I mean, our variation as usual, We invented this, must be called Volga variation. All right, Volga Gambit.
But
All right,
Benkoy was
finally,
from which
Benko was
country?
from United States, but he
Mm.
came from Hungary. He was Hungarian, very strong than master.
And you played against Freysteinn Thorbergsson.
Against Thorbergsson, yeah. Thorbergsson was one of the best five Icelandic masters, and the game is very important theoretically. In that time was a duel, theoretical duel between white and black. Who is right? Black by giving a pawn for initiative, or white who takes the pawn and tries to defend later on. Okay, knight c3, g6, knight f3, bishop g7, pardon, d6. And here there are the two possibilities, g3 with fianchetto in g2, or
Yes.
white can play e4. Okay, accepting the fact that he gives the possibility to take in f1, and after king takes f1, later on h3 or g3 and king g2. Black has a certain initiative for the pawn, and the game is very complicated. It's very unclear. But playable for black. Black can play without any problem. So, okay, this is another story with g3. Okay, bishop g7, bishop g2, castle, castle, knight bd7, rook e1, and queen b6. This is very ambitious. Probably is even better to play queen c7, preparing the same idea, but okay, this is the most, difficult line for white, because white has to find the plan now here.
But the plan for black, what?
I mean, if he doesn't pay attention here, I mean, if he doesn't play the way he played, black in some variations want to play knight g4 with the idea to come for instance, if he plays e4, for instance, e4,
Yeah.
knight g4, knight g4, the idea is to play knight g4, knight e5, and come later to d3.
Mm.
You see, to have
Mm.
very strong initiative for the pawn.
Yes.
Okay, so he doesn't give this possibility and plays first h3. Okay, very good move. h3, rook b8. Now we look at the position. Black gave a pawn for a big initiative, and it's a little bit unpleasant for white, because you have a pawn, but all the black pieces have a very strong position, and you are a little bit under pressure with white.
Yeah.
So what to do? I mean, he played himself e4. And after e4, knight e8, also very good. And after knight e8, queen c2. I mean, he is waiting. The other possibility was to play here bishop g5, very ambitious. But after bishop g5, he could have a very unpleasant surprise. Queen c2, instead of queen c2, bishop g5. And here, probably is all right. Between humans, is very unpleasant for white. This move, h6, giving the pawn from e7. Okay, you look like this. Takes, and now after bishop takes there, knight c7. The threat is rook e8, and he almost lost the bishop.
Mm.
You see, very
Yeah.
unpleasant position.
Yeah.
So has to be very, very careful here. Okay, he played quietly queen c2. Okay, and after queen c2, knight c7, black is coming. The idea is simply to play knight to b5. You see the rest of the game. Okay, knight c7. Okay, it's clear that black has a very strong initiative already, for the pawn. Rook b1, knight b5. Now what to do? He took. Now he
Yes.
took. Bishop takes, and now again he has to take a decision. If he doesn't play rook e3, giving back the pawn,
Yeah.
I mean, he has the idea to give back the pawn, but free himself a little bit. the alternative was, instead of rook e3, b3 or a3. If he played b3, after queen a6, black is almost winning, because he wins back the pawn by force, threatening bishop d3. If he plays bishop d3, you resign immediately with white,
Yeah.
If you play instead bishop f1, he takes first in f1, and then queen takes a2, and the initiative continues, and the pawn from b3 is very weak. Black is clearly better and probably winning finally, All right, so he played. The idea is to play rook takes a2, like I played, and then he plays himself rook a3, and you are forced to trade the queen. And it seems that at least he could have a little bit control on the b file. I mean, he wants to trade as many pieces as possible, and maybe have an even game. Okay, rook a3. Okay, I took in a3. He took in a3, and the initiative continues. For black. See? Black has no weakness at all, and white has a weakness in a3 first, another weakness in d3, and control of the central squares. It's enough. So okay, and here I played what? Bishop d4. Of course, bishop d3 was not enough because he has time to take in b8 and can free himself a little bit.
Yeah.
So okay, now gives you the possibility to go wrong again or find a good move. Find a good move is very difficult because you are a little bit tied up, here with white. What to do? Bishop f1, it seems, is the only good move, but now again black is coming. Look at this. Very simple. Takes. Now you have to take in b8. Black takes. Knight takes back, and knight is coming back to d7. Now, very unpleasant threat, knight e5. I mean, he wants to trade pieces, here, but how? He played.
But why is it unpleasant? Because the knight is
Because
coming.
the knight is coming to d3, c4, or f3, Many threats all over the board, So what to do? Very unpleasant position. I mean, he tries to,
Simplify.
to simplify a little bit, but how? Now, after bishop b2, again, very unpleasant, decisive probably already, knight e5. Now, what to do? King g2, it seems the only move, no?
Because that pawn will become dangerous.
Well, I mean, if he takes in d4, you can take immediately, or you can give first check and take with the knight,
Okay.
Also very, very bad. Okay, and here what can he play? After knight d3, he's lost completely. Has no time to take in d4 because he loses the queen with knight e1 check.
Oh, okay.
You see?
Yes.
So he has to play bishop c3, and now after bishop c3, queen c4, and loses a piece. Resign.
Yes, he resigned.
Demonstration, Demonstration of the power of the black pieces, The black pieces, in 2-3 moments are coming up, all over the board, everywhere, controlling everything. You see? This is the idea of this gambit. I mean, you give the pawn for a very strong initiative. A small mistake from white is almost decisive all the time,
He defended all the time until he couldn't.
Yeah, of course. And especially if black is a strong grandmaster like this, the advantage is even bigger, all the time. Very good example. What can happen in such a line, See, the knight look at this, the bishop from d4, much stronger than the bishop. The knight from d3, excellent position. The knight from f1 is doing nothing.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't lose a piece, like here you lose a piece.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
You're welcome.